Hello, welcome back to Doctor Who Season Review. And today we'll be reviewing Season 40. Paul McGann's third season, y'all! And today we have first up Scherzo. Now this is a very weird and strange story because it sets the Doctor and Charley in this weird white world where the TARDIS is gone. The Doctor gets pissed off at Charley for some reason. Has these weird thoughts about leaving Charley on her own. The Doctor doesn't know what to do. Charley doesn't know what to do. And overall, it just feels a weird story by Robert Sherman. Just feels weird. Yeah, kind of weird. I mean, I thought Jubilee was brilliant, but Scherzo, not so much. It's all right. Just wasn't really a fan, to be honest. Next up, we have the Creed of the Kromon. Now, this story introduces us to the new companion, Crizz, who doesn't have character development and is pretty shit. But I guess I'll take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. This story has aliens called, well, I don't know what they're called, but they have aliens that were like the Penoptera in like the Web Planet. And I'd say they're giant ants who can work on bloody computers. Set in the 90s, huh? Sad times. Overall, the Creed of the Kromon, it's a good introduction to Crizz, but the plot just feels stupid. And this is the start of the diversion universe, which is half of the season, and then the other half is just ordinary adventures. But the first half of the season is this whole story arc of the diversion universe, which is good. It's kind of like the Key to Time and Black Guardian trilogy and all that stuff. It's alright, I guess. It's an alright start. Next up, we have The Natural History of Fear. Now, this is a good 8th Doctor adventure in the diversion universe. It still has the Doctor, Charley, and Crizz. Got that correct first time. It's an alright adventure, I guess, but the plot just... It's because it's so heavily involved in the story arc of the season, well, the first half of the season, like I said before. It just feels flat on its face, and the plot doesn't really go anywhere. And overall, it's just a weird adventure in the TARDIS. Next, we have the Twilight Kingdom. Now, this adventure depicts the Doctor and his companions in a weird sort of plant-type environment, kind of like Meglos and kind of like Kinder, in a way, I guess. And Survival of the Fittest. It's alright. I wouldn't say it's the best Doctor Who story ever. Wouldn't say it's the worst either. Wouldn't say it's the best or the worst. I'd say it's pretty mediocre, which is pretty much in the middle of this adventure. Overall, it's a good enough adventure, I guess. But the next one I think is a lot better, to be honest. Next, we have Faith Stealer. Now, this one is a good adventure, I guess. It depicts the Doctor and his companions in a sort of in Venice again, I think, where an evil person wants to destroy Venice, and by doing so, steals people's faces, which is kind of disturbing. If you ask me, it's kind of disturbing. And tries to steal Charley's, and tries to steal the Doctor's, and tries to steal Crizz's face and all that, and it's sort of religious in a way, but I think it's done in a way that's pretty mature and fully realised as to why they did it. It's a pretty enough story. It's a pretty good story, I guess. Next, we have The Last. Now, this is a story in the season I really don't like. I think it's a terrible episode. I think the whole plot is terrible. Generally, I do think the season from this point onwards is alright, but the story alone is just god awful. Not terrible, not bad, just awful. Just awful, awful direction and awful plot devices. Just awful. Next we got Caredrioia. Now this story, it's good. It's got 3 Eighth Doctors, one with a different personality. The first one's happy, kind, and joyful, like he usually is. The second is very angry and aggressive, and the third is very weeply and very scared and doesn't know what to do and is asking questions and looking for answers and stuff like that. And Charley and Crizz in this story, they're pretty damn good, and it is the final diversion story, but not the final story of the season. The Doctor and his companions finally get out of the diversion universe and get back to regular reality, and they have the TARDIS back. Which brings us to the next story. Overall, this story is pretty decent. Next, we have The Next Life. Now, this adventure is set on Gallifrey, I think, and the Doctor and his companions meet with Rassilon. This is before the Time War, and it's essentially a good story, but I think the problem that it also suffers from the same problem as Zagreus had in the previous season. It just feels flat on its face, and it doesn't really pay off anything. And I know it's the halfway point between the season, and we got a few more stories to get through. But overall, I think the story in itself is just terrible, and it should never really exist, to be honest. Sorry, Next Life, you're just not my favourite. Next, we have Terra Firma. Now, this depicts the Doctor and his companions on Skaro with the Daleks and Davros. Davros returns since the 7th Doctor's era. So, this story itself, it's pretty damn good. I really like Terra Firma. I think it's a brilliant story, and it deserves what it gets. It deserves a high five from me, mate. Up top. Deserves it. Really does. Overall, it's a good story. Next up, we have Scaredy Cat. Now, this story is basically about two planets fighting each other, civil war, and one person who decides to take over both planets, kind of like the Master, and the Doctor and his friends have to stop him. Overall, it's not a great Doctor Who story. I mean, I like it for what it is, but there are certain points where it does really annoy me. But overall, I think it's alright. Next up, we have Other Lives. Now, this is another great Doctor Who story. It depicts the Doctor as sort of a rich guy. It depicts Charley as also another rich person, and it depicts his Crizz as the freak in the circus, kind of like the Elephant Man. It is a good story. I really like it. It's a pretty decent story, to be honest. I mean, we've gotten away from the diversion universe in the season, to be honest. We got away from that. Thank God that ended in caredrioia. But this story itself is a pretty good story, and I highly recommend this one. Highly recommend it. Next, we got Time Works. Time Works, it's okay. I think it's about a robot or something, I think. That pretends to be a person, who thinks like a person, kind of like robot. It's alright. It's not great. I mean, the Doctor, Charley and Crizz are great as always, but overall, I just don't really like this story, to be honest. Next up, we have Something Inside. Now this story depicts the Doctor getting possessed again, like Zagreus, but with something a bit more evil, I think. I know Zagreus was evil, but I think it's something more deadly this time. However, the story itself doesn't have a plot, and if it did have a plot, I probably would enjoy the story a bit more, but unfortunately, there's no plot there, unfortunately, guys. Sorry. Overall, Something Inside, it's a good story. Just wish there was a plot. Next up, we have Memory Lane. Now, this one has the weird astronaut selling ice cream, kind of like, would you like a lollipop? Ooh, that's really weird, and it's really disturbing. The story itself is fine. The Doctor, Charley, and crizz are great as always. I really love Paul McGann's 8th Doctor. He's amazing. Overall, memory lane is pretty decent, I guess. Next, we have Absolution, which is the departure of crizz. Now, crizz didn't really have that much of a character development or anything. It kind of felt a bit shit, and he didn't really feel as a great companion for me. He was great, along with Charley and the Doctor by his side, but he just felt lackluster, to be honest. Like, they just found him in the creator of the Kromon. He was lonely, so the Doctor decided to bring him on board the TARDIS, and he just became a regular like that. And it was just like, well, if they're not going to do anything with him, why the hell was he a companion in the first place? It just doesn't make any sense to me. That's all I'm saying. The plot or the story of Absolution, it's okay. Not brilliant, not amazing. It's alright. Overall, I think this one's average. And finally, we have The Girl Who Never Was, which is the departure of Charley Pollard. Now, I really enjoyed Charley as a companion throughout 8th Doctor's first 3 seasons. She was brilliant with the 8th Doctor. crizz, not so much. But she was a worthy addition to his list of companions throughout his time as the Doctor. The story itself is okay. It's got a bit of a mix of the Cybermen and all that. Yeah, it's alright. The departure itself is pretty brilliant. The Doctor just goes off and he's upset and that. And it leads us into the next season, which is season 41. So, goodbye crizz, goodbye Charley. And I'll see you all in season 41. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all in season 41.